What is up, everybody? We are back for a match reaction with Mr. Chris Stonadge, Mr. Paddy Murphy, and myself. Loads to get through. I mean, we disagreed massively already before we even went live. We were all disagreeing on who played well and who didn't. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of these fan forums. Right, couple of things. Firstly, let's react, gentlemen, to the draw, because we now know that Liverpool are going to Anfield South to take on Manchester City. Thoughts on it, Paddy?
I had a feeling in my balls we were going to get City. We've avoided them too much. It was inevitable. But listen, I would have preferred to have played a Palace. But, you know, if we want to win this FA Cup, we have to beat City, whether it be in the semi or the final, because it was inevitable. And I think we can beat them. It's not ideal that it's rammed in a jam-packed April that has like 4 massive, intense games in a row. But listen, we can beat them, and we will beat them.
This is what you got to do, Chris, if you want to lift all the trophies or you want to be at the business end of the season. And look, Chris, I'll be really honest with you, mate. For me, I'd much rather we got drawn against City in the FA Cup than in the Champions League. So if we had to get them, I'm happy enough with this.
Yeah, not even a question. I think it's probably one of the best draws for us because FA Cup semi-final isn't as big as in my opinion, as a Champions League quarter-final, and we've avoided them there. You've got, and then if we get through, we'll probably have to play Chelsea again, which is going to be another horrible game to endure. But yeah, that sort of week, as Paddy mentioned, the 2 Champions League quarter-finals, which I think we'll get through, and then the 2 games against City is going to be one hell of a week, and we're going to need all of our squad fit and ready.
I mean, Champions League quarterfinals, I can't wait for, gents. I'm buzzing for that. But look, let's get back to the start of today. And we knew that there was no Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and Trent in the squad. Paddy, were you surprised or happy or angered or frustrated by the starting 11?
No, I think it was the best decision. They have a big game coming up for their countries. Obviously, Salah's injured, but I'm happy to get them a rest. We didn't need them today, thankfully, and I'm good to see them both get rest and look forward to their big game against each other. Team selection was, I thought it was pretty solid. I like to see the rotation. We ended up needing some of the big boys, but I wasn't on the basis unhappy with any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt similar. What about yourself, Chris, when you seen the 11?
I'd like to see Jones play. I think the game would have suited him well. But apart from that, really, I had no complaints. Because obviously we knew we would be without Trent. I think we would have been anyway, injury or not. And I think the big boys did need a rest, even though there is like a massive international break coming up for some of them. They still needed a rest for Liverpool as well.
I want to get straight to one of the major incidents in the first half, Chris. And I want to come to you first on it. Why do we not have a penalty?
I know. I saw that. Honestly, I have no idea, unless they think he got a touch on the ball first.
But that's what VAR is there for. I actually thought VAR wasn't there in the first half. I didn't until the offside decision. That's when I found out that we had VAR. Yeah. But mate, how can Pawson gave Diogo Jota in particular nothing today? But how can that be looked at by a VAR official and see that the Forest centre-back got nothing on the ball, nothing, and did get the man? I'll never understand how that wasn't a penalty.
It's a strange one. It's the whole rationale behind it all. It's just ridiculous. It's a systemic problem. It happens every single week, but they won't change it. They will not change it.
For you, Paddy? I mean, we could have had 2 penalties maybe in the first half. I'm speaking about the one right now where the centre-back slid in. I think it was on Diogo Jota. To me, that was a stonewall penalty.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like it wasn't given because the championship side aspect of it, they didn't maybe wanted to make it more of a cup tie. I thought it should have been given, but listen, thankfully it didn't matter. On first glance, I thought the Jota goal was a stonewall offside, so I was glad to be proven wrong when the angles were drawn up. But listen, it was a proper game. Credit to Nottingham Forest. It was a really good game. Their pressing style really had Liverpool flustered, I would say. But then again, they only had that one real good chance with Zinker, Nagel, whatever the fuck his name is. But I thought I was really impressed, I have to say, with Joe Gomez today. Really impressed with Joe Gomez. Now, going forward, yeah, there's a lot to be desired. His deliveries and his, not quite Trent-esque, but I thought he was very solid defensively alongside Konate and Van Dijk. So, yeah, it was an enjoyable game, but it was a scary game.
dare I say it, Mr. Stonadge, I think Canade was the better of the two centre halves today. Van Dijk, that one he gave away in midfield, nearly gave me a heart attack, by the way. But I thought Canade was excellent. To just add to what Paddy said, I don't think Joe was amazing, but I think he put in a good shift for somebody who hasn't played a lot and was put in at right back. So yeah, no complaints about Gomez's performance today for me. But your take on defensively first?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think a lot came down his side. The one time he got beaten, he pulled the guy down. Good tactical foul. Yeah, he was okay. I think he looked like he trusted his pace a bit more today. Physically, he trusted his body.
A great cover. Do you remember he came across with a great covering challenge at one point, which showed his pace. It was great work from Joe.
And that's the thing, obviously, we're all, and every Liverpool fan, and I'm probably Jurgen as well, is concerned about is his body. Like, will it hold up anymore after the 3 absolute batterings it's taken? But yeah, I thought he was solid enough. Probably a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Like, he was good.
For you, Paddy, on the other side then for Costas, what did you make of his performance today?
His delivery, his passes and crosses left a lot to be desired up until the assist for the goal. So fair play. He kept going. I liked his couple of chances with the shooting. Like one of them was a nice little perler. I thought he was solid defensively. He's always a solid option as Costas, but you know, I did think going forward he left a lot to be desired at times. But again, he got an assist at the end, so shows what I know.
One of the things I love about Costas, Chris, is anticipation. He gets there ahead. Doesn't have to make the challenge because he tries to nick in ahead of the player. Now, if that works out, it's great. But if it doesn't, we're immediately on the defensive. But to me, the one difference I noticed between Costas and Gomez in the fullback positions today, and I don't want to be too nitpicky on Gomez because I do think he played well, but he was jogging back on a few occasions, and I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, I'd say so. Costas is 100% energy the whole time. And one thing he does have as well is a right foot. Andy Robertson doesn't have a right foot. Uses it for standing on. It does provide a different threat, and that, as we saw that with the goal, like it was inch perfect, that cross. Overall, I wouldn't say he was better than Gomez in his performance, but he certainly showed the energy and desire that we always expect from him. And you won't find many better backup left backs out there.
That's a good show, yeah. I mean, I want to go into midfield and attack, but just on the goal really quickly, Paddy, I would say to you, sir, that is a prime, typical Diogo Jota type of goal.
Yeah, and listen, I ate some humble pie. I tweeted at halftime saying Jota has been shite the last few weeks, by the way. And I thought his overall performance today was also not great. But I also seen Chris's tweet, and he said that's why you keep him on, because he's just a natural finisher. And he is. That was a phenomenal finish, right place, right time, instinctive. And yeah, I think we need to, I think my own advice here, just because someone doesn't have a good overall game, there's players that can impact the game at a moment's notice. And Diogo, what a finish, back post, poacher. Robbie Fowler in the studio would have been proud.
Here's one. I want to talk about midfield, and we'll start with this gentleman, Chris, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So this gent seems to think that he said something like, I haven't played for weeks, as he was taken off. And I have to say, I can understand his frustration of being taken off, because we disagree on this, and usually it's the other way around. But I actually thought Chamberlain played well.
He played well for him. Now look, I love Ox. It's pretty well documented how much I love him. But this rhythm excuse is bollocks. And there's players out there who can not play for weeks and come back straight in and look like they've been there forever.
Who?
I think Luis Diaz is an example. He came into the club. Yeah, he has done. But then when Jota came back from injury, I think he's been off, but he's still scoring goals. Mane, Salah. Players can be injured and come back in straight away and not... Ox,
I don't think any of those are comparable to Ox, though. He's had no time.
He's been in and out. Okay, Tsimikas then. Kostas Tsimikas.
Yes, but I will raise you a Harvey Elliott who was even more poor than Oxlade.
He wasn't great, but he's a kid. Like I just think it's an excuse. Correct. I've backed him up on it, but it's just getting more and more frustrating watching him play. Actually, what I will say is that like the elements of his game were good. But it looked like there was so many passes misplaced. It was getting so frustrating. And I understand his frustrations, but he just needs to go for his own sake.
I mean, on frustrated passes today, Paddy, if I'm to pick out a name for that, I'm picking out Bobby Firmino as the one who frustrated me with his passing today at times. I love these conversations because genuinely I'm happy to see that we all see the games differently, and I'm always happy to talk about why I believe certain player played well or didn't. But on Oxlade-Chamberlain, mate, what did you think he did wrong today?
It's not so much what he did wrong; it's more he didn't do anything right or nothing exceptional. It's just he's just not at the level required anymore. A game like this, it's a championship side. No matter what way you want to spin it, he should be able to pull the strings and do bits, with the talent he has and things he's done. But he just didn't, and he was disappointing. Wasn't the only one that was disappointing, but listen, he just wasn't good enough. And I'm just sick of persisting with him, and we seem to constantly make excuses for him. Oh no, but blah blah blah. I just think he's not good enough. Bottom line, we have better options. We can do better. And yeah, I was frustrated with Firmino as well today, but I still love the guy. That chance, it was just so lackadaisical from him. I think he was trying to get a clip or something for his Instagram. Very lackadaisical, just bang the fucking thing, you know what I mean? It really pissed me off. But Firmino was a guy that has been injured, has been out of the he is someone that once he's back, nice and caressed in, he'll be back to his full form. He's gonna be a key player in the coming weeks and months.
And I think the difference is Bobby has a lot more credit in the bank than Ox does.
Yeah.
Which is why I think people I think today, I don't think he was as bad as people are saying. I still don't think he was good. However, it's a build-up of frustration over the last sort of 6 months or so where there's just been a constant run of poor performances from him. And maybe he has got an excuse, but unfortunately, to make it at Liverpool and into Liverpool's midfield, you have to be, whenever you play, you have to take your chances.
I agree with the wide-ranging conversation about Oxlade-Chamberlain needing to move on and not being good enough. I just feel that today, and look, I can only base this off what I see and what my reaction is from the chat, but I felt like early doors people were looking to stick a boot into Ox today for no reason straight away, and I don't think he stunk up the place today. But to switch it to a positive, I thought Naby on the other side, I thought some of his breakup play was phenomenal, winning the ball back high up the pitch. And I was very encouraged by what I've seen from Naby Keita today, Chris.
Yeah, it was a different sort of performance from Naby, really. There wasn't too many sort of flash dribbles getting past players. He was breaking up the play well. It was sort of a, hesitant to say it, but like a Wijnaldum type performance from Naby today. He was good. Again, I won't blow the trumpet too much, but I would say he was good, especially second half. I thought he was much better in the second half than he was in the first.
Here's a question for you, Paddy. Do you think Forest would survive in the Premier League?
Yeah. With the fight they shown today and their pressing style, if they get up, I think they would, yeah. Obviously with some more investment. I'd love to see Forest back in the Premier League. They're a great club, big club. Yeah, I think they would, yeah. Steve
Cooper's a great coach.
He is a very good coach.
He's annoying me though. Why are they always so? He always looks like he's half asleep.
He's the coach that won the World Cup with the England team with Brewster in it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Then he signed for Swansea.
I got to watch Swansea a lot last season, and they were, well, you look at them this season, they're just a completely different side. Defensively, they were so well drilled last season, and now it's totally different. So yeah, he's just a top coach.
He's a very good coach. I agree. Moving to the front line, gents. I thought that's where we stunk up the show today. Right across. I don't think there's any saving graces for any of the front three today. Jota's goal aside, I thought that his first touch was awful. I thought there was two sides to Bobby's game today, Paddy, for me. There was the side that we were all going to speak about with giving away the ball, making the wrong decisions. But he did have a redeeming aspect to his game in that he was tracking back very well to win the balls back, which, we speak about with Bobby all the time as being the master of the press, and he is. But I can't disagree with you about what you said about his chance and some of his all-around play. It just looked, I don't want to say arrogant, but he looked non-switched on, maybe is probably the best way I could say it.
Yeah, the front three were very poor, I would say, in the first half and up until they were subbed off. Harvey Elliott was poor. He couldn't really get into the game. Bobby, you know, lacked a lot of sharpness, but again, he did offer the tracking and the pressing, in which we've come to love with Bobby. I thought
1-0
John had a poor
Arsenal.
game overall, also. But listen, again, that just can happen some days. Just when you make a lot of changes, there's a bit of a disjoint in the team. A lot of players who haven't played a lot together in the last few weeks and months, so it's to be expected. But thankfully, it didn't matter.
It's 1-0 to Barca in the Clasico, by the way. Aubameyang with a goal.
He's doing so well out there, isn't he? He's doing amazing.
He's settled in. And it's Dembele, good work down the right-hand side. It's a header. Wow. Brave header as well from Aubameyang. Arsenal fans will be wondering where the fuck that player was. For you, Chris, what was your thoughts about the forwards today? Elliot, I know we spoke about other players and saying that this rhythm thing is bollocks, but I don't believe it is. And I believe today it's the only reason we can cut Elliot a bit of slack. That and his age, of course.
Well, yeah, and the fact I only use that. I'm saying it's bollocks for Oxlade-Chamberlain because he's 28 years old now. He should actually have that under lock. He should be able to take that thing, you know. But with Harvey, I think he's not played in that position all season. He was probably bullied a bit by the Championship defenders, which is strange because last season he was amazing there. But I think the same can be said for all of them. I don't think Diaz played well when he came on. I think it's the worst game he's had in the Liverpool shirt. Bobby, as you said, redeeming quality is the fact that he came back, and I think he got better when Diaz came on, actually, because he had pace on the wings to find playing passes with. Jota, you know, he's just a goal scorer. He's done this so many times. Like, he hasn't really particularly played well, but he'll just rock up in the right place at the right time. Yeah, it was probably the weakest area of the pitch, if I'm being honest with you, because, yeah, there was just no real final killer ball wherever.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, Paddy, look, we can nitpick and we can complain about performance or whatever, but ultimately, mate, we're in the semi-final of the FA Cup and we're still in every competition we enter this season, which ain't too shabby heading in towards April time.
Yeah, look, listen, you know, job was done at the end of the day. You know, we're through. No, yeah, exactly. And I think, like, this Liverpool team are very good at adapting to the game, adapting situations. And when they need to press and need to score or need to win, they do it. That's what I love. That's the hallmark of a title-winning team, a trophy-winning team, to be able to turn it on, to be able to win ugly. And I feel like it's inevitable we win. We just win every time we play, it seems, right now, which is a fantastic case to have. Now, listen, this month of April that we have coming up is one dirty month. We have City, Benfica, United, Everton. It's absolutely, it's a season definer. It really is. However, can Liverpool win every single one of those games? Yes. The question you have to ask yourself now is, if you can only, it's hypothetical, and you know where I'm going with this. If you can only choose one City fixture to win, which one do you pick?
See, I think we've talked about this before. I think we can draw at the Etihad and still win the league. I know we'd have to have them drop more points, but I think they will. I mean, look, the Etihad game is the bigger game for the league. So if I had to pick one to win, I'd be taking that. And don't forget, my prediction a few weeks ago was that we'd lose in the semi-final of the FA Cup before the draw, or before we got through the quarters, that we'd win the Champions League and that we'd finish second in the Premier League ultimately. But I want us to win the Premier League now, Chris. I'm all in on it. We've done too much hard work to let it go.
Yeah. The great thing is that we're having these debates. We've never had these debates before. So we can to nitpick and choose what trophy we win, or, you know, discuss it. Look, we're in with a chance, a very, very realistic chance of winning each one of those trophies. It just depends on other teams' performances on the day. I think we've got the Champions League, and I think the FA Cup are in our hands in terms of we can play well and things can happen on certain knockout games, whereas we have to rely a bit on other teams, I think, for the Premier League. Manchester, I don't think we'll win all our games, if I'm being honest with you, and I think Man City have more of a chance of winning all their games, so that'll comes down to the reliance. But look, what a debate to have.
Yeah, it is. And look, I think they look like they've had a bit of a wobble, Paddy, if I'm being really, really honest about what I'm seeing from Manchester City. Certainly, I don't fear them. I respect the quality of their squad, but I think anything between us and them is a real 50-50.
Yeah, well, I agree with what you're saying about City may have faltered a wee bit, but I would suggest they think they're probably the same right now about Liverpool. We haven't been overly impressive in many games in the last while. We haven't blown a team away in a few games now. It's been a lot of slog. It's been slogging games. Like we've been slogging results out.
We've won them all in the league.
Yeah, I know. Listen, yeah, of course, which is great. Which goes back to what I was saying. I feel like we win when we have to, and we put it on the style. These City games is going to be a test like no other. They're the best team in the world, along with us. They're right up there. It's going to be tough, and I probably would agree with a 50-50. I'm not going to. I'm usually, yourself, TikTok Paddy Murphy. I'm usually like, egotistical, overconfident. I wouldn't. There's no game against Man City I'll ever be confident about. I'll just be sitting on my couch as I am. I'm a proud couch supporter and praying to God we win. But I'm not going to be confident, and I'm just going to hope it doesn't get ugly.
You know what, Chris? When I think of our games against City, my head goes to the referee straight away. Before any game, I wanted to know who the referee is, and I want it to be a referee who's going to referee the game fairly and adequately, because I'm fed up of referees being the highlight of these games. They're the ones that we speak about after it. If it's decided on the pitch, if Pep Guardiola at Manchester City beat us 3-0 with an excellent performance, brilliant. If they don't and we do it the other way around, brilliant. But I just wanted to be decided by who's better.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is you want Michael Oliver to referee.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Chris.
Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, the referees, they're always going to be a topic of debate because everyone's got an opinion. And I think it's not a problem that can be really solved, but it can be changed. And the goalposts can be made, and the margin of error can be made a lot less for the referee, a lot bigger, for the referees. It's a rules problem, it's a systemic problem, and it's an arrogance problem, I think, with them. And the only one I think that is anywhere near capable is Michael Oliver.
But then we have the question of VAR, you could nearly say have almost a bigger part to play, Paddy, in the major decisions these days. So, yeah, if Oliver's the referee, that's all well and good, but we still have somebody sitting in Stockley Park there, only, too happy to turn a blind eye to some obvious stuff. Let's look back recently. We spoke about the red card that should have happened when the keeper came out and absolutely clattered into our player. And the reaction from us was that we probably didn't get that red card because the goal happened. Today, we were saying the penalty probably wasn't given because of the whole championship thing aspect of it. And at what point do we just get to the point where we say, well, if shit should be given, it should be given?
Yeah, listen, we all want more consistency with these decisions. But at the highest level, there should be no margin for error. It should be always done right. That's all we want. And listen, I don't care who referees, as long as the names Paul Tierney and Chris Kavanagh are not a part of any sort of officiating lineup. Because if they are near the game, I can't watch that. It's just fixed.
I'll add in Kevin Friend, Craig Paulson, Stuart Atwell, Mike Dean, Martin Atkinson. If you could keep all of them away from the game as well.
Yeah.
By the way, I've just looked at some stats. We've
2-0
conceded
Barca.
2-0 Barca. Who scored?
Yeah. Arujo with a header from a corner.
2-0. This is something that I don't think's got highlighted enough, really. We've conceded 5 goals since the Shrewsbury game in the FA Cup. 5 goals. That is it across all competitions.
Jesus, really?
Yep. We've not conceded more than 2 in a game. It's basically this whole year, apart from Chelsea, which is the first game of the calendar year. Like this defensive unit. I mean, if this was prime 2004-05 Chelsea, everyone would be screaming about it. But no, it's Liverpool, this heavy metal football.
That's a lovely stat and all, but the idea, I just have visions of City fingering our high line, and I'm worried.
But our high line is, I would say, pretty damn consistently good.
Yeah.
Listen, one aspect of VAR that even they can't fuck us out over the offsides.
True. I just don't know. Listen, City give me the heebie-jeebies. We've had so many nearly moments against them. They've just caused me so much hurt. Can you imagine if we go impeccable in April, we're winning the quad. Let's be honest. Can you imagine an impeccable April? Oh my fuck! Oh my god!
You could, mate.
Whoa.
All good.
Can you imagine? We win every game in April. Into the semis. No. By the end of April, we could be in the Champions League semi-finals, League Cup, FA Cup final. We could have beaten City, Everton, and United. This is the biggest month Liverpool have had in a long, long time. This is the biggest month Liverpool have had in my lifetime, without question.
Yeah, it's massive. It's huge. Did we see Everton getting absolutely destroyed earlier on by Palace 4-0? Lampard not happy about the mentality of those within his dressing room, Chris.
Did you see his press conference afterwards? It was
I haven't seen it yet. No, I've read some quotes from it though.
It's so funny. It was like, it was one bad goal, a fluky goal, another goal, and another goal. He was getting really angry. I was like, yes. It was sounding like if you were like raging on FIFA, Craig, about some scummy goals you conceded. That's how much it was bitterness. I think he fits in quite well with the Everton fans.
I tell you what, those Palace bastards could upset Chelsea.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Good.
Immediately though, Chris, when you start talking about like poor goal, this goal, my head went to the 7-2 against Villa because everything that could go wrong for us that day happened. Every deflection, everything that could possibly have gone wrong. And them days happen in football, but you know, it's no coincidence that Everton are capitulating again and again. And Paddy, he was the manager that the Everton fans wanted more than any other. So he's a big job on his hands. Now, I think they'll do enough to stay up. I think Burnley look doomed at this point. They do have games in hand, but I can't really see them doing much. So I think Everton will just about stay up.
Yeah, listen, and I hope they do. I've always said it. I don't want to see them go down. But yeah, Lampard, he's a fraud. He's a fraud, man. Him and Mason Mount need to ride off into the sunset, into the Championship. That's where they both belong. Yeah. Still not going to drop that Mason Mount slander.
We're getting flashbacks to the stream that we did.
He's a shy. We're not going to get into it, but he's shy.
Real quick word on Paddy Pimblett getting a W last night in the UFC again. Yeah, talking the talk, walking the walk, and you know, Molly Meatball with her. Did you watch the UFC last night, Chris? Oh mate, if you can Google, you'll find it. What's Molly McCann? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Just Google her knockout with the elbow. Paddy, I gather you've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh good, man, good. What an elbow!
We have our Conor McGregor regen. You know, someone coming in with the personality, and he's great for the sport. You know, he's a proper Scouser. He called out the rag that is the sun. He sang just for the 97. He's just a great guy. What a man! And yeah, great role model for the sport. And I hope down the line him and McGregor fight in Dublin for leg 1 and then Anfield for leg 2.
Oh, can you imagine? There was some talk of that potentially happening down the line. I mean, I like them both. I mean, there's a lot to love about Paddy Pimblett. I hope he makes obscene amounts of money, and I hope that he eventually gets that UFC gold. Because Paddy said he's a good lad, and you like to see good lads do well. But yeah, that elbow, that elbow last night from Molly. Oh my days, I was standing up cheering for that man. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was unreal, absolutely unreal.
I don't watch it, so I wouldn't know. I'm just sit here, smile and wave.
Chris is too busy shagging his crumpets.
What? I know. Are we actually? Funny story that my toaster broke today. There you go.
So don't you microwave bread, you filthy animal?
I have done. I've been known to.
I don't know where to go. Lads, look, I'm going to bring this to an end because I want to go get some dinner, get a shower, and get ready for the airport. So, final thoughts, Paddy. I mean, I'm going to ask you the question. I'm going to probably ask you 10 more times before it's resolved. Premier League or the Champions League? If you had to pick one right now, which one is it?
Until we win it once more, the Premier League. But after that, it'll always be the Champions League. But the Liverpool fans deserve to celebrate that title properly without the impact of a bloody pandemic. So yeah, all Liverpool fans around the world deserve to celebrate that properly. So one more Prem, but you know what? We're going to win both of them, so we don't have to choose.
And Mr. Stonadge, for yourself?
It has to be for this one. I agree with Paddy. It's the Premier League. It's purely because, and I wouldn't say this usually, it's because of like how we won it before, behind closed doors. It'd be amazing to get up there and for there to be a big parade to show off the Premier League trophy, because that's what these fans have been missing. And I'm sure it'll probably be even bigger than the Champions League one.
I agree. All season I've been saying Champions League, Champions League, Champions League. But the way this league campaign has gone and the effort the lads have put in, I do feel like that it would be a very fitting end if the lads can lift number 20. So yeah, fingers crossed. Look, I won't be around for the next 10, 11 days, but these two gentlemen are going to be keeping the fort. So shout out to Paddy and Chris. Thank you. And I will see you guys when I get back. Do drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. The Reds are in the semi-final. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Paddy. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.